do 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 work predators.
Predators.
Hey, today, thanks for joining us. Today we're going to talk about something that hits us, each and every one of us. It's that one coworker, that friend, that someone that's nosy. They get all up in your stuff. Let's talk about the privacy invaders.
Yeah.
Huh. Do you have anyone in particular? I can think of tons of them. There are people who just always want to be in your business. They want to be up your butt. They're in your keister. They want to know all the dirty deets. And they don't always deserve them. Did they work for that reward? No. Some people just think they're owed it, you know? They come into you, they show up, they're like, hey, how about that messy divorce you're going through? How's it working out? And it's like, I don't really want to talk about it. Hey, can I see the paperwork? It's like, no, you can't see the paperwork. And it's like, what did the judge say? And it's like, whew, did you ever get arrested when you were 17? I don't know, man. Let's relax, okay? I just work with you. I've been here for 3 months. Let's calm down. You get those people, right?
Yeah, this is the guy at the corner who's begging for money for some cause that probably is bullshit, but then he like reads your badge while it's sitting next to you in the car, and he's like, "Hey Dan," and it's like,
you know me?
You can't read into information that is readily available but somewhat secret. That's
you can't,
too much.
You cross the line. I think there's like a rite of passage, a timeline, an amount of time and sentences shared with people before you can open up about certain things.
Trust. I think the word you're looking for is trust.
I guess, but this is, yeah, sure, information trust. It's not just trust in general. It's like trust with my secrets, I guess.
Letting your guard down, letting them in.
Yeah.
Unlocking the door to your keister.
Whoa, yeah. I think letting them have a piece of that keister is kind of what they want, and I'm more than willing to share my keister with tons of people, but like you got to earn it. You can't just show up and all of a sudden be like, "What do your underwear smell like?" And it's like, "Oh man, I just met you. If I knew you for years, like, yeah, that's hilarious. That's funny. That's cool."
Destroyed.
Yeah. I mean, because then look at this. You weigh it like this. Like, you have friends that you've had and do podcasts with for years. And like, oh my God, you shared so much cool stuff and fun stuff, and experiences.
Quite fresh, actually.
Pounding it. And, oh my God.
I just took a shower, so
I can ask him about all those cool things, and it's like he could tell me. He doesn't have to, but like he could. And then like someone who I just met, it's a new coworker or a friend of a friend, like, your wife is dating my boyfriend or something. It's like, whoa, well, guess what? We're best friends. What do you guys do on the weekends? I get fucked up on tryptophan. Like, did you just say tryptophan? You gotta lean in and be like, did you tell me you get?
I distill it from 1,000 turkeys.
It's like, dude, this is too quick. We gotta slow the roll. I don't wanna put it all out there yet. Like, they're everywhere, right? I mean, it's like I said, social events, a lot of work, people. Oof.
I'm guilty of this because I am like when I was younger and I was trying to like date people, I like to like know them. So like I try to like get to know them. Mm-hmm. But very few women when I was younger wanted to date me, so like they were not into me enough to keep asking questions. And I guess I don't have a limit on like the amount of questions I can ask somebody. So there's a point where they just like think I'm like going through a resume, like an interview. It's like, I was like, what about this? What about that? What about like people don't have as many thoughts as I do. Apparently, they don't analyze people the same way. So there's some people out there that are naturally nosy and naturally inquisitive. I don't know.
It's also naturally a progression too. I mean,
yeah.
Certain people are ready before others. There's certain people who are more willing to do that sooner. But there are rules. You can't just go 0 to 1,000 miles an hour. I mean, You can't lean in on a first date and be like, "When's the last time you pooped yourself?"
If a girl said that to me, I think it would be hilarious, though.
You'd be like, I don't know, hold on.
I just like slip the ring like onto her finger. Like,
2003? I don't know.
Just a moment ago. That's the answer.
To answer your question, right now.
How did you know?
Yeah, so I think there's a timeline on when you can and shouldn't share. And there's also people who, like you just mentioned with yourself, like I'm I'm a urinal sharer. I walk up to the urinal
Yeah,
and
that's
there's
too
one of
much.
my coworkers there. Like, really? I love to tell a joke at the urinal. Like, I'm like this. I'm like, ah, God, can't believe they pay me to be here. And like they're trying to just pee and ignore me, and I'm like, whew, can you believe it? They gave me off today, and I showed up anyway. And they're like just trying to pee, and I'm like just waiting for them to either crack a smile or be like, "Are you serious?" And most
Also,
of the time they get
I feel like it depends on the urinal. Certain urinals are they're a
sure.
cozy place, a private place. Other
Mhm.
ones have that tiny little divider that doesn't even like come out like half a foot, and then
Yeah,
or not
it's
at
just
all, or it's just
up to
like
your like
yeah.
chest area right here, and
Hmm.
then at that point, I guess it's like, hey,
What's this
I
guy trying
never
to do?
lean
What's
over
his
and
motive?
go. I never lean over. I'm like, what you working with, pal? And
Hey,
lean on it. You know what I
slap him.
mean? Hey,
Yeah,
hey, check out this guy. No, I never give any of them. I'm not like a. I think that's over the line. But then again, maybe people think what I do is over the line. So maybe it is potato
probably.
potato.
Yeah. I also think that there's motive. Like the people with ill motives, they like to get in your business faster. So like
Makes sense.
anyone who's been like, if you've been around people who are addicted to drugs, like they'll try to befriend you so that they can use you to like take them places where drugs are, or like they try to find an
Well,
in, or like a person that has like connections, or they're always
I can
like
see that. It's
trying to
also
go
it's
after
also
it.
more this too. They want to know that you're on their side. So, hey man, you smoke weed? I don't know. Are you a cop? Give me 5 minutes. I just met you 1 minute ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, anyway, dude, we're thinking of the devil's grass. And it's like, I get it. Just let's give me a minute here. I need to know if you're a cop. I need to know if you're cool. I need to know
Mm.
if you're, into fetishes. Like, I need to know what's going on with you before I tell you this. So I think what you mentioned is interesting because weed smokers or someone who's like a
Instantaneous.
social
Yeah.
weed smoker will ask that because like maybe they want to smoke and they're like they want to make sure it's cool in the air for
Yeah.
them to do it and that you're not a cop. So there's reasons for doing these things. Like you're airing it out. You're
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
you're
Feeling
putting
the room.
feelers out. I get it. There's a fine line between feeling it out, which I think is okay to a degree, and overstepping and like making I don't know.
So how do
It's a
you
slippery slope.
defend against the nosy people? Like you could be cool with it, but it might not be cool with you. Like being around people that are constantly nosy and getting all in your business, like you
Hmm.
have to put up barriers. What else?
You
Like how do
do
you
have to set
push
up
them
rules because
back?
otherwise, once you're like, yeah, I'll let them
Sometimes you
know.
shut them down and
Anyway,
it's too hard.
the divorce the divorce is going terribly. Let me tell you a little bit. She's such a bitch, and you go on and you kind of divulge maybe more than you should because you kind of. There's also a nice thing about being able to unload on a not
Hmm.
stranger, but someone who isn't privy to that information. Like you
Yeah.
kind of giving it to someone who's a third party because they're not as much connected to your life. It's kind of cool. It's like, hey, I can give these people information they're not privy to because it's not
Hmm.
going to come back on me right now.
Yeah. You can
You know what I
practice
mean?
the telling of your stories, and then you can get maybe honest feedback, no bias,
Right.
and then you
Right.
can spin stories too if you'd like.
Yeah, you can do whatever the hell you want. You're kind of in control. So it's kind of cool when a nosy person's asking you stuff like that. You kind of are tempted to give them more than they want, maybe, or maybe that's what they want. But you set this precedent where now you've just made them your super best friend, and they might think they're your super best friend, and they might ask more questions. The next time you see them, they're like, "Oh my God, is that the bitch? Is that your wife?" And you're like, "Shut the fuck up." And and someone's like, "Who's this?" And it's like, "It's my friend Daryl from work." And they're like, "I don't know Daryl. Didn't you just start working there 3 weeks ago?" And you're like, "Yeah, Daryl needed to know about the divorce. I told him some stuff and the court documents." He's like, "You bitch, yeah." And it's like, Daryl, play it cool.
Yeah. You
Like
know,
someone like that has trouble playing it cool too. Do you know what I mean?
indeed. There's
A
also the
nosy individual gets too amped up into the information and the gossip. I don't know.
what about like neighborhood friends? Like that's sort of the same situation where
Hmm.
I had like two friends that were like a block away, and they were like always coming over and always like bothering me essentially. Like I enjoyed hanging out with them, but not like every day. And they would just like show up and be like, "Hey," and they just like walk in my room and like expect me to just like put my attention on them and like play whatever they wanted to play and go do something.
Right. Right.
That's
And you don't have personal time as much.
yeah,
They're invading on your personal time, technically.
indeed, indeed. Did
Yeah,
you have that when you were younger?
I
Invasive
did.
friends?
I didn't mind it at the time because I don't think my privacy was. I wasn't practicing the bass or doing whatever when I was real young. I was
You
just like
didn't
looking
hit
for.
puberty yet?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't doing anything special before that. I mean, I was just doing whatever, looking for friends. I think when you get to a certain age, though, you want that private time. Maybe I want to post 1,000 things on Reddit, demeaning the Eat Right community, and just post on there as an anonymous blogger who's constantly like needling them. Like, maybe that's my thing. Let me do it. When am I going to do it? I don't have time. You're invading. Now I got to host friends and stuff. I don't know. For the record, I don't even know if that's a Reddit community, but that would be hilarious.
Hope so. I guess this is sort of like the core of you and I are very different. Like growing up, I always had like some sort of intense interest in something I was doing and building and creating, and like it would make sure that there was a clear divide between those people were doing out there and what I was doing in my room.
That makes sense, but it's funny because I have that now. Like back then, I probably didn't. Now I'm like kind of like older. I don't know. I'm like more reserved. I want to do, a little bit. It happens, clearly. And newsy people are interesting. Nosy people are interesting. Is it newsy or nosy? That's also interesting.
It's nosy.
Nosy. Is it? What's newsy people then?
People who are up on the news?
No, I think newsy people are people who want to know about your news. I think it's the same
deal.
Yeah, I think it is 100%. Go ahead, rock a wiki on this.
Or de-verify you.
Please try. I know you want to. Every time you start typing and clicking on that perfectly quiet keyboard, God bless it.
Could you hear it?
I could, but not very loudly.
That's because I was angrily typing.
What a bastard.
No, I don't see any of those definitions to which you are alluding to.
Newsy and nosy are the exact same thing. Oh, she's a newsy neighbor. It's the same thing. They're very newsy.
I'm afraid it's not.
It is. It's probably colloquial. You're probably from the suburbs. I'm probably from the city. That's probably what it is.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you misheard.
Jeet yet? That's right. I said, did you eat yet in 2 syllables. Jeet. Jeet?
I saw that tweet, yes.
Well, I'd known it before it was a tweet, but anyway. So back to newsy and nosy people. I think maybe they want to be more involved, and maybe they want to break down boundaries, and maybe they want to get involved more. Is that what it breaks down to? They want more of your life?
I don't know. I think what pieces can you give them of your life that would make their life better? What pieces are they looking for? I think figuring that out helps you deal with the nosy person.
I feel like most of the time it's drama, because drama's juicy. I love drama. Yeah. I do love gossip. Love gossip.
What did Billy do with Susie last night? I don't know. Were you there? Did you see it?
Mine's mostly workplace gossip. I love stuff like, oh my God, did you hear? Yeah, he wants to fire him. He totally can't. There's a lawsuit pending against like his other coworker, and it's like, oh, that's hilarious. And it's like, did you see what he did when he got up? He came in the room, and what's his name? Didn't even stand up. He didn't even say hello. And I'm like, but it's his boss. And he's like, yeah, he wants him fired. And I'm like, how is he going to do it? And they're like, he can't. He's their #1 sales rep. And it's like, damn it, this is great. I can't wait till he comes in tomorrow. I don't know. I love that stuff. I love the juicy stuff.
So if you wanted, this is a little bit sidetrack. If you wanted to be nosy and you needed a piece of information and you wanted to approach somebody, how do you do it? How do you do it in a way that's like not offensive? You don't know them. You're trying to like get this piece of information out of them. Is it obvious? Is it obvious that you're like, can you be direct? Is that too much?
You break the mold a little bit. You're like, oh shit. I don't know. You tell them a joke or two. You ask them a sort of offensive
You're using
question.
Icebreakers?
Yeah, but not an icebreaker I've ever read anywhere. I'm really good at icebreakers that just come naturally. Jesus Christ. If you have to read about icebreakers, it's not an icebreaker. That's like reading a pickup line. You can't read a pickup line and use it. You have to just have a pickup line.
It has to come to you and you have to say it. And then you have to
say,
it
has to be natural. It has to be real. This is like jokes, being newsy, all this stuff. Oh, that's great. Holy hell. You don't have to tell me,
in the break room.
Is there really a lawsuit pending? I just heard it. I'm not here to gossip. Tell me, please. Oh my God, I can't wait to gossip.
I love that. I'm not here to gossip.
But please tell me. I love it. Oh my
whatever
God.
you say, completely, it's all between you and me. You have to tell me. Tell me now. It must be now.
I guess sometimes we're all newsy, sometimes we're all nosy, sometimes we're all looking for it, and sometimes we're also on the other side where we don't want to share it. We don't want it to get out. So the passage of information can go one way to the other, up to down, down to up, no to not know, and it's kind of It's interesting, but we have to keep an eye out for the newsy people or the nosy people. But
Just the nosy people. I should have cut it there.
telling you it's the
Oh my
term.
goodness.
No. Anyway, so like I said, nosy people aren't bad, I guess. They're just sometimes they're annoying. Sometimes you don't want to share. And that's okay. And sometimes you do want to share, and sometimes you want to be nosy. I think that's
Nosy.
okay too. So I hope this one hits home right on the nose, and I hope everyone at home is careful of their nosy relatives. We didn't even touch on relatives. Oh my god.
Hmm.
The aunt that wants to know your dating life inside and out. Yep. Anyway, folks, eventually I'm going to be that aunt when I do the transition. I get old enough, you know.
Yeah.
So, like I said, be careful out there. Sometimes you're the noser, sometimes you're the nosy. And in the words of the Crystal Method, predators.
Predators.